Good. I want prayer meeting to be focused on prayer. So I'm not at all disappointed by this. Uh, but it just so happens this is a mega psalm, pretty quickly. But this one is lengthy, and I have this one titled "Our God Marches On." And it just kind of pays tribute to Battle Hymn of the Republic and just that idea of God marching on. He's going to accomplish exactly what he intends to accomplish. And Psalm 68 is a unique psalm because of several factors. One being it is a messianic psalm. So I put it under the category of program because it's emphasizing Christ, his work, and the New Testament quotes it in relation to Christ's work. Now, this psalm is unique on another level. There are at least 7 names for God in this psalm. And when you start to count up all the names of God in this psalm, it is incredible. When you go to other psalms where you have maybe 3 names of God that show up in a psalm, and then you have one like this where Elohim appears 26 times. The name Yah is basically 2 times. One time is actually in print there in verse number 4. You have the name Lord, as in Adonai or Master, 6 times. You have the name Lord as in Jehovah 3 times. You have the name of God as in just El, E-L, not Elohim, 5 times. You have the name King associating that position to God, and then the name Almighty or El Shaddai in this psalm. It's just incredible how many names of God are used in this psalm. And so this psalm is unique in the fact that it is very much advertisement for what God is doing. When you look through this psalm, you'll see another unique feature is all the references to physical locations or proper nouns. You have Sinai, Israel, Salmon, you have Bashan, you have Benjamin, Judah, Zebulun, Naphtali, Jerusalem, Egypt, Ethiopia. And so when you have all that coming into a psalm, you recognize this is a big program kind of psalm. This is zooming out. We're not just dealing with one person going through a tribulation in some cave, not to demean or minimize that, because those were David's moments that have become inspiration for us in our own struggles and trials. But this psalm is greater on the scope of everything. And so that's a unique feature of this psalm. When you look through this psalm in its entirety, the theme that you come away with is that God is unique as a ruler and truly a divine that people are going to interact with, because he doesn't just help those who are favorable. He doesn't just help those or show interest or care for those who are attractive or have something to give back. This psalm really puts it right where it's at with Israel. He helps the desolate. He helps those who have no hope. And he reaches down and says, if you'd like, this is what I'm offering. And they have the opportunity to receive that wonderful gift of rescue. And so some of the terms in here, I think, are sweet and truly endearing. The first 6 verses set the stage for this psalm. It starts off with, let God arise, let his enemies be scattered, let them also that hate him flee before him. That is the affirmation that comes straight from Numbers chapter 10. As soon as Moses has completed the construction of the tabernacle, according to God's specifications, as soon as he's organized the tribes of Israel around the tabernacle, all going on in Exodus and Leviticus and the approach of worship and Numbers 1 through 10, now it's time for the tent, the tabernacle, to pull up stakes, time for us to pull up the stakes of our tents as they've camped around Mount Sinai for all this time. And it's time to head to the promised land. And the end of chapter 10 ends with this kind of glorious, you kind of have the trumpets and the choir is singing and the fanfare, and you're waiting for the glorious next page of what God's going to do through the children of Israel. And then you see what the children of Israel do. Basically, the next page, they murmur, they complain, they get bitten by serpents, they reject God and don't go into the promised land. And it's just like you can just hear the trumpet fanfare goes wah wah wah. It just ends, and you're like, what in the world?